Hello, let's talk about the benefits and incentives of DepEd teachers. First one on top of that is the basic employment benefits, which consists of the following. Letter A is PhilHealth membership. So your health insurance for hospitalization and annual physical exam can be covered by this, but of course it's not 100%, a part of it. Next one is GSIS Benefits, retirement and life insurance plan. So basically under GSIS rule, you contribute 9% of your basic pay while the employer contributes an amount equal to 12% of your basic pay. Letter C is your vacation credits. This could be up to 15 days in a year. And letter D, your leave privileges, which could be the maternity leave for moms, paternity leave, and study leave. So this actually depends on what situations you are into. Say, for example, for the mothers under maternity leave, sorry, there are some situations, example, if there's a miscarriage or there are some considerations under this one. Also, same thing with paternity, but basically you're given an opportunity or a day or let's say month or days to actually have a leave, rest, and recover before going back to teaching. Number two is your PBB, or we call performance-based bonus, which is annually given. But remember, to receive PBB, the teacher must be serving at least 4 months as a teacher in the Department of Education at the time of the assessment. So remember, 4 months of teaching or serving. The value of the contribution of DepEd teachers is then assessed by their superiors to determine if they're part of the good performer, better performer, or best performer group. So all three groups get their share of the PBB based on their performance. So we have a table here referring to the employee performance appraisal, which could be categorized under best, better, good. So that could fall to 35, 25, 15, lowest could be 5. Okay, so employees, sad part for the poor performance is employees rated poor in the annual performance appraisal system. Better luck next time. But I think, of course, as a teacher, we do our best, right? Anyways, if you're having a confusion with this PBB, I could give more explanation. Third one is Productivity Enhancement Incentive. This is PEI in short. So contrary to some sources online, the PEI amount is not fixed. Remember, not fixed. Instead, the amount depends on the level of savings incurred and authorized by the national government to fund the PEI. This means that the amount you receive will vary depending on factors. So remember that one, it's not fixed. This shall be given not earlier than December 15 of every year to all qualified government employees at 5,000 pesos each for the purpose of improving the government employees' productivity. It's like really a motivation or incentive to do our best as teachers, performers, also in other fields, not just for teaching. Fourth one is Personal Economic Relief Allowance, or we call PERA, PERA, or it's also given annual. This is another allowance given to all government employees to augment their take-home pay for the rising costs of living in the country. The bonus amounts to 2,000 pesos per month regardless of rank or performance. This totals to 24,000 pesos per year given to all teachers. But well, always remember sometimes it's not really given like there is like a time period that maybe it's being delayed, something like that. So, but always remember we have personal economic relief allowance. Maybe it does not come on time, but at least we have this. It's like additional for us, especially nowadays that inflation is really rising up. 5 is mid-year and year-end bonuses plus cash gift. Remember, regular DepEd teachers are also entitled to receive 2 bonuses every year to add to their basic teacher's pay. So this includes mid-year bonus, like how much, it's 1 month salary when released in May. So this varies. Year-end bonus, how much also, same thing, 1 month salary, or we could check the DepEd teacher's salary grade. Okay. Same thing November, but sometimes, as I mentioned, delays happen. Okay, remember in government, they also need to process many documents. And of course, the cash gift, it's also in November. Teachers may be entitled to an annual cash gift amounting to 5,000 pesos. So if you're going to total everything, I think you get much if you get all in all. But of course, it is given like in different months. So you could use it in every month, but not given, I think, as a whole, not given as a whole. Number 6 is clothing allowance. Well, we all know teachers, we have our uniforms to use. So to pay for the uniform, DepEd teachers are given 6,000 pesos every year, which comes in the summer break. This actually depends I'm not sure, but because in some schools they said they received it late, but for some they receive it on time. But generally this is 6,000 pesos prior to this day. We are not sure if it's going to be changing for the coming months or years, but generally DepEd teachers are given money to have their own uniform. Number 7 is your teaching supplies allowance, or we say Chalk Allowance. Aside from uniforms, teachers also need to pay for the supplies that they use for class. They are compensated for this through the Chalk Allowance, formerly named as a Teaching Supplies Allowance. The amount may change annually, but for 2021 last year, the amount is 5,000 pesos, given out at around the start of the school year. So 5,000, uniform 5,000, also teaching supplies 5,000. And luckily for some schools, they're actually receiving some donations from NGOs, like that, non-government organizations. So it's a bonus already if you're donated like that. If you're given donation. Number 8 is Special Hardship Allowance, or SHA. This actually equals to your 25% of basic pay. This is given to teachers who are assigned to hardship posts and is equal to 25% of the teacher's basic pay. Hardship posts, according to the Department of Budget Maintenance, refer to assignments in areas characterized by extremely hard, uncomfortable, and extreme difficulties. So they're having a difficulty with time of travel between school and division office, human violence, availability of temporary learning spaces, level of poverty, access to basic amenities, like in the countryside areas, or some difficulties with the transportation. Also, maybe in some areas, war is happening, so hazard for teachers. Number 9 is long-term incentives. The first one is loyalty cash incentive. This is given to any permanent teacher or non-teaching employee who has served in the department for at least 10 years and has a minimum of satisfactory rating in all of those years. A teacher may receive 10,000 pesos in his or her first 10 years and 5,000 pesos every 5 years after that if eligible. Highest prior to this day could be 10,000 pesos. We also have step increment or the salary increase. Well, of course, this happens. Aside from the loyalty cash bonus discussed above, a DepEd teacher may also be eligible for the step increment. This is an increase in the salary of the teacher within his or her salary grade. This step increment salary increase is given out to employees who receive a minimum of a satisfactory rating for 3 consecutive years. 3 consecutive years, remember that you're a good performer, satisfactory rating, you are given a chance for salary increase. So do your best, teachers. Number 10 is proportional vacation pay or PVP. The proportional vacation pay refers to the amount received by the teacher during school breaks, example like April, May, and December, but this varies, especially the situation for COVID-19. The amount that a teacher receives in this break period depends on how many absences they may have incurred in the school year. If a teacher did not use any leave credit for the entire school year, he or she will get the full for break periods. It depends on your leave, if how many days you have submitted for leave like that. So this really depends, okay? It's not the same for all teachers. Number 11, mobile teachers and district alternative learning coordinators, or we say the DALC. First is travel allowance that could fall under or more or less 2,000 pesos per month. Instructional allowance, more or less 5,000 pesos per school year for all supplies, ALS supplies. And as I mentioned earlier, for some places you could be having difficulty with transportation because maybe it's very, very far, or something like, yeah, same thing like situations you cannot travel very well, hindrances, so you're given at least travel allowances. Okay. Alright, so that's it for the incentives and benefits that teachers could get. So aside from the basic pay, we could get more. But of course, we must make sure that we have a satisfactory performance as teachers. We must also do our best or do our part. We may not get them in one payment, but at least maybe in different months we're expecting something. And this are actually help or good help for us teachers, especially with our situation nowadays. But regardless of that, teachers could get more as well if we are performing best. So that's it. Good luck, teachers. I hope you get to learn something from this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe.